How are you guys? Hope you guys are doing good. I am Mambo. I am here with your weekly energy reading. I am the Coven Mother of Vision Adontor. I am the founder and facilitator of the Charm School Mentorship Program, and I am your reader for this week. Hello, everyone. As you come into the room, say hello, introduce yourselves, hit the scale emoji. If you've been here before, you know that the scales are really important to me. They are aligned with my energy. They give me energy and keep me hype in order to do this reading. So as you come into the room, just say hi, hit the scales. This is a reading I do every week on Sundays, just to give us a little bit of insight into the energy ahead of us for the week. I won't hold you guys this much because I do have readings after this segment scheduled. So I'm gonna go ahead and just jump straight into it so we're not here for a long time tonight. We're gonna start with the general spread, and then we'll trickle into the other readings for tonight. Again, as you come into the room, say hello, introduce yourselves, hit the scale emojis so that I know who's here. All right? Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits, walk with me. Please let us know what the collective needs to know for the week ahead of us. Give us insight into the nature of the lessons, blessings, challenges, breakthroughs, experiences we'll have during the week of June 30th, going into July 6th. Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environments in order to have mastery over the energy of the next 7 days? And your wisdom is deeply appreciated. Hello, Calissa. Thank you for joining. Hope you are doing well. Okay, it's a bunch of us here, and only Calissa has introduced herself. Please say hi and introduce yourself as you come into the room so I know who's speaking to me. Hey, Drina. Hey, Shaniqua. Hello, Allie. I love this. I love this for us. Continue to mind your business this week. Mind your business. It may be hard because some of you have been struggling or are dealing with a challenge for quite a while. You feel like you've been charging at a problem and that you've been somewhat relentless in your pursuit of answers in terms of your pursuit of hitting a certain goal. And some of us are at a space of frustration because we feel like we're getting up every day and we're doing the right thing. We're doing the things we're supposed to do, but we don't necessarily see the answers, right? Even with that doubt, even with that frustration and confusion, keep moving forward. The stability, the answers, the breakthrough that you seek is not that far away. For some of us, it can be as soon as 4 days. For some of us, it can be as soon as 4 months. And 4 months may feel like, oh my God, that takes forever. But if you've been going towards your goal, if you've been fighting for whatever this thing is for the last 7 months or 7 years, 4 months really is not that long of a time. So yes, you may feel like you're hitting walls and you may be frustrating, but the only way to deal with that frustration is to keep working and to sit through it, right? The only way through it is through it in this instance. You feel alone because the work and the journey is very much a personal one, but everyone who knows you and who loves you and who fucks with you is rooting for you, and they're waiting to be able to pour into you and celebrate you. So this is a week where even if the circumstances feel like or seem like you're not making progress, you need to pull from your reserves, your energetic confidence, your emotional and internal confidence to really allow yourself to keep working towards what it is. Because I promise you, success is just on the other side. You're a lot closer to hitting your goals than you feel like you are, than you think you are. Very first card, Chariot, the driven warrior, somebody who is comfortable with striking out alone, right? They're comfortable with their personal individual journey. And even if they hit a couple of bumps in the road, they're going to keep going, right? Chariot knows that they are supposed to succeed. So even when the bumps happen, they keep going after it. They recalibrate. They don't give up. They just pivot. Okay, I hit a bump when I went in that direction. So that means I got to pivot a little. That means I got to pick myself up and dust my shoulders off and try again, kind of energy, right? And for some of you all, this feels really difficult with this Four of Cups. It feels difficult because you're looking at everything and you're like, I'm doing the right things. I'm looking at everything. I'm doing everything I can. Why can't I come up with the answer? So there's a feeling like you're stuck or that you don't have control over the situation. Rather than fighting this feeling, really sit with it. Let it transform you. And I promise the wisdom is on the other side of this temporary feeling of difficulty. We have 9 of Pentacles. So the things that we have been working towards, we're going to see progress with it shortly, right? All those risks you take in, all those plans you've developed, they are setting you up for financial stability and security. They're setting you up to be somebody who is deeply independent and who has the things that you want for yourself, right? So even though you feel stuck right now, don't submit to that feeling. It's literally just a feeling. These two energies together are powerful because the more you do this, the more you continue to work towards what you want, despite the bumps you hit, despite whatever, whatever tumble you may take, right? You are closer to your 9 of Pentacles than what you feel. You are closer to having the answers. You are closer to being able to stand in confidence, in success, than what you may feel like in this moment. The feelings are temporary. The answers are coming. And they're low-key right in your face, right? You can't see clearly because you're frustrated. So allow yourself to feel that frustration, cycle through it. Another thing that's coming up, right? Even though this is a period of time where the journey we are on is strictly individual, right? This is a moment of introspection that's meant to put us in alignment with our highest self, right? Even though it feels like we're alone, that is not true, because not only do you have people rooting for you, both in your bloodline and in just your community in general, but there are people waiting to celebrate you, right? This is under that Chariot. So another thing you need to know is that the reason why you need to continue to be driven, even if you hit a bump in the road, even if you stumble a little bit, is because all of the efforts you are making are putting you further in alignment with your birthright, right? They're putting you further in alignment with achieving your legacy, with leaving something behind. There are also people who are watching you who you may not even expect, right? These can be literal children, or these can be social or spiritual children. These can be people that see you as mentoring community, right? But the way you move right now has more to do with the impact over your legacy than I think many of us understand. And that has to do with, again, going back to this 4 of Cups, we are so wrapped up in the frustration. We're so wrapped up in the confusion. We're so frustrated by a feeling like we're hitting our head over and over again that we forget that we have people watching us, right? And so this is not only about having the stamina, having the resilience to hang on so that you individually reap the rewards of your hard work and the sacrifice and the drive you've had. This is about standing in it so that the people who see you can also benefit from watching you hit your goals, right? We end with the Queen of Wands. This is what's going to get us through this week. This is what's going to get us low-key through these next 4 months. Queen of Wands is the Queen of Worthiness. She's the Queen of Confidence because she's the Queen of Worthiness, right? She sits on this throne with complete confidence because she believes she deserves to be there. Your emotions matter tremendously during this time. Now, when I say this, that doesn't mean that you need to submit to all feelings of despair and confusion and just give up, the way that the Four of Cups may be tempting some of us to do, right? What I mean is that you have to make sure that your emotions are built on confidence and a deep belief in yourself and a deep sense of worthiness. The more worthy and deserving you feel like you are, the easier it's going to be for you to get up and recover from those times you hit the wall, right? They're going to be the thing that makes you keep going and trusting in the plan you've laid out for yourself, even in those moments of confusion. So don't give up. This is a week where we don't give up. When we feel like we're low, when we feel like we are frustrated, go within, Hermit card, reconnect to your inner spirit, and work on your sense of worthiness. Tap back into that version of yourself that had that confidence for you to even develop these plans in the first place. If we can do that this week, we will have a lot of success. We will get much closer to the execution of our dreams and our goals than we feel like we are capable of, right? Manage your feelings, make sure the emotions are healthy, make sure that everything is leading you back to your inner confidence and worthiness. This will not only allow you to see yourselves the way that the people who love you and who see you as part of their legacy development see you, but this will also help you make sure that you don't give up your place on the throne and how far you've come, how far you fought to be here, okay? I hope this message falls on the ears of whoever needs to hear it, and I hope it resonates for those who are listening in this moment. Let's go into health next, because there is some stuff coming up about our collective health as I look into the candle. I'm going to show you guys, because I know some of you don't believe me when I say I read candle flame. And I do have my little candle right here. See how bright she's going? Very, very bright. Very, very strong girl. And of course, it's a different candle every week because they do burn out. But when you guys see me look off to this side, I'm looking at the candle. When you see me, my eyes do different things. So it looks like I'm not controlling them. That's me listening to whoever's giving me wisdom. I'm not going to share that with y'all. But yeah, so let's look into health next, because that's where she wants me to go next. Ancestors, angels, ascended master spirits that walk with me. My elevated ancestors. What wisdom does the collective need as we go into this week of June 30th through July 7th as it relates to our physical, mental, and spiritual health and wellness? Please give us wisdom about the nature of any breakthroughs, lessons, blessings, challenges, obstacles that may come our way as it relates to our holistic health. Please give us wisdom about who we need to be and what we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environments so that we can have strong health. If there's anything in our lives in terms of environment, in terms of people, in terms of energy being thrown at us or that we wander into that will negatively or positively impact our connection of mind, body, and spirit, please warn us now and give us wisdom now so that we can move with discernment as well as defense. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Hey, Tashana. I was thinking about you earlier today. I hope you're doing good. Girl, you literally put this up. Bertal, you ripped the words from my lips. I've been thinking about that all day. I'm like, damn, tomorrow night when I go to bed and wake up, it's about to be July. I have no idea where the months have gone. And even though I know I've done a lot, especially with like travel and stuff, I don't know where the time has gone. I have days where I feel like we just did the retreat 2 weeks ago. So how the hell is it July when that was April? Move your bodies. Move your bodies this week. Move them as much as you can. Even if you don't, even a busy schedule is not an excuse. It's not an excuse. Move your body as much as you can. So even if it's just you having a free 15 minutes at work, instead of using that 15 minutes to gossip, instead of using that 15 minutes to hide and fume in your office, instead of using that 15 minutes to eat snack cakes or whatever the fuck you would usually do, use that 15 minutes to just take a lap around your office building. Or if you work from home, use it to take a lap around your house, right? Use it to do a quick, 10 minutes or whatever on your Peloton, or walk through your neighborhood in that 15 minutes. Whatever you need to do, move your body as much as you can this week. This is coming up for two reasons. First, and being the most obvious, is that, physical health and wellness is extremely important, and exercise is a necessity. In addition to that, a lot of you guys are sitting on very, very stagnant energy. And that stagnant energy is going to develop into depression, right? In the last reading, we just talked about how some of you guys are working on really, really big things, and the confusion you're dealing with is not helping you. And the only way that you're going to get through the confusion is to tap into your inner wells of, or inner reserves of confidence and worthiness, right? But if you are still too much this week, not only will you lose hope over time, but that stagnation will start to manifest into severe depression. That depression is going to make it hard for you to really plan for your future and to move in strategic ways, just as it comes to your life and decision making. Very first card, Leo, Sun card. Baby gets what baby wants. Sun card is also a card of vitality. It's virility. Lions have a lot of energy. Lions be fucking all the time, right? So this is a week where you really have to motivate yourself and pump yourself up and move your body, especially out in the world, out in the sun. Those morning stretches and the yoga and all that stuff, that's great. But the more that you can be in movement with the literal sun on your body, the better it's going to be, not only for your physical body, but for your psyche as well, right? Why is this important? It's important for two reasons. Not only is this an investment into healthy habits that you take into your future, it's an investment into your physical health, right? But a lot of you all are developing really, really big plans. The plans you develop this week and this month, July is going to be a really powerful month for a lot of us. Makes sense that Leo is the first thing that's coming up in the reading, right? But July is going to be a super powerful month for a lot of you guys in terms of having wisdom around how to prune and edit and modify a lot of the things that you are currently committed to while planting new seeds for your future. And the more you are in movement, the easier it is for you to think, and not just think, but to bring in new thoughts and new energy. So this is not only an investment in your physical health, it's an investment in your ability to think clearly about the seeds you are planting and how you're moving forward in that future. I don't know who is dealing with depression. This is the second time we've gotten the Five of Cups in the exact same position. I will switch decks in the next reading just so that you guys see me shuffle the cards. You see me lay them out. You know I'm not doing any weirdo shit. But typically whenever I get a situation where a card is showing up in the same position in different spreads, it's because Spirit really, really needs you guys to pick this message up. And there are some of you guys who are walking around dealing with depressive symptoms, and you're actively in denial about it. And that is not helpful. It's not helpful. It's not helpful to you, and it's not helpful to the people around you, right? And that's another reason why you need to be moving your body. The way to fight depression is through physical movement. The way to fight depression is through changing your diet, right? I don't hide the fact that I deal with CPTSD and depressive episodes, right? So typically when I feel a depressive episode coming on, that's when I make big alterations in my diet. And even if I don't continue those alterations more than a week or two, at least it helps me navigate, right? So that's when I'll cut out meat. That's when I'll leave alcohol alone. I may fast from marijuana, right? Some of you guys may want to consider something like that because a couple of you are fighting off a depressive episode. And with this coming up in the health reading, it's telling me that some of you guys need to spend less time in a particular environment. A social media fast may be in order for a few of you, but some of you, it's about slowing down and reconnecting with your body. There's a disconnection from your mind-body connection, and that's why it's easy for you to spiral into hyperfixating on the past. So give yourself the things you need. And you can't get help for something if you don't admit you're dealing with it. So for some of you, you've known for a while, you felt these depressive symptoms. So you already know I'm talking to you. For some of you, you guys have been in really a lot of denial around what you're dealing with. So this is the week where you got to admit it so that you can do what you need to do to move forward. Under the Sun card, we have the Star, right? And I love that these two cards are over and under each other, because in order to have your Sun energy, the confidence, the vitality, the natural leadership, you have to have faith in you. You have to have faith in yourself and faith in your environment. This is not as simple as the fact that some of you guys are not praying enough. The reason why this depression is even coming up is because some of you are losing faith in yourself. You're losing faith in the things that keep you motivated. You're losing faith in your purpose. You're losing faith in the actions that you're taking. So slowing down this week in terms of talking to a whole bunch of people and getting a whole bunch of people's opinions, I think will be really good for you. Really focusing on your relationship with yourself and the spirits in your court, and really letting them cleanse and heal you, right? If it's been a long time since you've taken a spiritual bath, do one, right? In traditional representations of the Star card, we literally see somebody nude, pulling water from the river, pouring it onto the land, right? But it's safe to say that that person being nude and not close to the river, they're probably doing some sort of self-baptism. They're probably doing a spiritual bath. So if you've not done a spiritual bath in a while, do one. If you can do more than one this week, go ahead and do it, right? But really nurture yourself with the intention of tapping back into your vitality and your confidence. So in the first spread, we got the Queen of Wands. Now we have her husband, the King of Wands. King of Wands, y'all, this is big dick energy. This is somebody who you can't tell them nothing. They believe in everything about their capability, and they believe in themselves so much that they are always enrolling other people in their vision. That's another reason why you really got to work on your health this week. Going back to the Sun card, you need to be at your highest vitality. You need to be at your deepest beauty, right? Leos are inherently very beautiful. Lions are gorgeous to look at. Fix your hair. I don't know who needs to hear this. Even if you don't want to do it this week, take that extra time and do your hair. Take that extra time to put the extra accessories on your outfit. Let yourself be dolled up, because people are looking at you, right? And in order for you to handle the amount of eyes that are on you, it's going to be important that you look your best, you feel your best, right? And this is coming up. Hi, Toya. This is coming up because King of Wands, again, they're the politician. They're the actor. They're the king of charisma. You are going to have opportunities this week to enroll people in your vision. You are going to come across people who believe in you, but don't necessarily know what you do. And you have to be at a space of confidence and deep belief in yourself and hope and faith in yourself, that you don't shy away from having your elevator pitch ready, for talking confidently about what you're working on, for celebrating your recent successes. Some of you have had some recent successes and you aren't even telling people about it, right? And that's if a Leo win, you're gonna hear about that shit. If a Leo is winning, you're gonna hear about it, right? I know this because I have a Leo rising, and that's something that I gotta work on, right? Being confident enough to share my wins without fearing the monitoring spirits and the crazy people that tends to attract, right? But y'all this is a week where you can make a lot of progress if you believe in yourself and have faith in yourself. And if you allow that faith in yourself to translate into self-promotion, confidence around how you show up as a person who is deserving of leadership, as a person who people should be pouring and investing into, right? The King of Wands enrolls people in his vision because he knows that he needs people in order to get shit done. And as much as some of you guys would really, really love to, and I'm going to use language that may sound fucked up, but it's real. And I know it's real because of what my spirits have taught me. As much as some of you guys would really love to lean into the self-indulgence of depression and to disconnect from the world and not engage right now, that's not what you are being called to. You're being called to show up. You're being called to stand your ground. You're being called to speak from a place of worthiness and promote yourself with deep confidence, okay? Under the Five of Cups, we have the Five of Swords. Some of you guys are dealing with trauma from a difficulty or betrayal or a way in which people have chosen to see you as enemy even though you didn't see them that way, right? The Five of Swords encourages you to, rather than wallow in the memories of those betrayals and in those attacks, to strategize, right? We don't hide, we strategize. We don't run from the monitoring spirits. We set up walls and boundaries, put up fences so that they can't get to us, right? And this is what y'all have to do this week. I love that this is coming out in the health reading. Stop overthinking about the past and the losses and develop protection and strategy around them. So again, some of you guys, this is literally going to see a therapist. For others of you, this is reevaluating your spiritual protection and cleansing regimen. For others of you, this is taking responsibility for how little, bragging is the word the Spirit is giving me, but promotion, positive promotion, how this tendency to run from and not speak about your wins and your accomplishments has led to these monitoring spirits and these spirits of provocation and gossip misrepresenting you. So pull the reins. Strategize. Start representing yourself. So that way you don't even have to give a fuck about what the monitoring spirits are saying. Okay? So, long and short of it for the health reading, move your body as much as you can. Some of you guys are going to try to lie to yourselves and be like, oh, I don't have time. Again, 10 minutes during a lunch break. Take that coffee break, and instead of drinking coffee, walk around your building at work and then drink your coffee at your desk. Right? Get up 15 minutes earlier, and as soon as you're done praying, throw your shoes on, go for a walk or a sprint. Whatever you need to do, move your body more, because the more you move your body and the more in movement you are, the more that you are tapping into your cardiovascular system, the more that your blood is pumping and running, the more positive you're going to be, the more optimistic you're going to be about the future, the less you're going to fixate on the past, the easier it'll be for you to have hope and faith in self. And then another thing, the King of Wands is the card of the athlete. So that's another thing. You may end up having to have this conversation with this person about the promotion you're supposed to get while you're taking that walk on your lunch break, right? They may be somebody who's physically active, so you're going to cross paths with them in that way. You may run into them at the gym in the morning on the way to work. That may make them look at you differently, right? But move your body, because it's going to really raise your confidence. And this is the strategy that you need to be engaged in when it comes to dealing with whatever pains you have from the past. Instead of defaulting to them, letting them run you, letting them steal your energy, letting them lead you into depression. Learn from the pain and re-strategize around what you did or didn't do that led you to have this heartbreak. But don't let it be something that makes you stagnant, because there's a lot of progress that you can make this week, not only in terms of success, but planting seeds for your physical health in the future. I'll get up, but I'm going to have my coffee now. As a coffee girl and as somebody who needs that midday caffeine hit, I agree with you, but take the walk and then drink the coffee after. That, do it that way. Let's see. My triggers are my, I think this may be a typo, Bertal. My triggers are my teachers. Let me know what that, I think that last word may have been incorrect, but let me know. Let's see. Balancing Calissa said, story of my life. I ain't combed my whole hair in so long. I know it's time. Here's the thing. This is not how my depression shows up, but I've seen this in clients and just other people in my community. Sometimes that's the first thing to fall by the wayside in terms of hygiene when you fall into depression. For some people, the first thing it's the hair. Some people, the first thing it's their teeth, right? They may go a day or two without brushing their teeth. They may forget to brush their teeth even though they shower. For other people, it's the feet, right? They forget to lotion their feet. They forget to wash their feet in the shower. But typically, it's one of those three things that pops up as somebody's starting to fall into a cycle of depression. And then it leads into the not showering and the not getting up and the not eating and everything else. So if you know that that's you and you already recognize that you've gone a few days or a week or two or whatever, a long time without doing something to your hair, stop and start, acknowledge that and go back into your hygiene regimen and really give yourself the strength to pull through it, right? People make fun of me. I didn't know folks don't wash their braids. So even when I have my braids in, I'm washing them every few days. I'm oiling them once a week. That's why I have them in for so long and they still look good, even when I have new growth, right? But that started as a result of me realizing, like, especially because I worked in crisis services in mental health for so long, I started to see what would come up in terms of patterns for other people. And I was like, okay, I really got to be on top of this. And I got to use this as a barometer for looking at my own health, if that makes sense. Let's go ahead and get into money. Let's get into money and then we'll wrap up with love. Sisters, angels, ascended. I forgot to stream on the damn, gosh dang it. Give me 1 minute, y'all. Please don't leave. I'm still doing the reading. There are 18 of y'all, and after I put this link on Instagram, better still be 18 of y'all there. But I totally forgot. And this is why I want StreamYard to get their life in order. Because I always forget to stream from Instagram. And I don't want people in Instagram to think that I don't love or remember them. Oh. Hi, Instagram family. We're about halfway through the reading. I deeply apologize for that. I forgot to put y'all on here. Let me go ahead and put the comments that I need to pin. And then we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're at the finance reading for the week. This is the June 30th through July 7th weekly energy reading. For those of you who are watching on Instagram, I will post the YouTube link once we're done, so that way you can catch the general as well as the health reading. But I apologize for my tardiness, okay? Now let's look into money. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits, walk with me. Ancestors, please let us know what we as a collective need to know about the flow of money and the energy of prosperity and abundance in our lives over these next 7 days. Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environment that will allow us to have control over the flow of money in our lives, that will allow us to use our money for good and for expansion as opposed for waste and escapism. Give us wisdom about the nature of the lessons, blessings, challenges, and breakthroughs in our lives that we will experience over the next week as it relates to finances. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Hello, Phoenix Mars. Hello, Nubian Mystic. Tiffany, call me. Call me. There's no reason why we don't talk more. I've been thinking about you a lot. Give me a call over the next week. Tomorrow is a little tight. But any day after that is good. Just give me a call, okay? There's a lot in terms of lessons that we all, the collective who are watching this either live or in the replay, there are lessons to be learned about how to manage your impulses when it comes to money. This is a week where we're going to be confronted with that in a really concrete way. What our impulses around money is costing us and how that leads to problems with us being able to build foundation, institution for ourselves, right? There are a lot of us that have big ideas about the types of legacies we want to leave behind, the type of businesses we want to have, and we feel stuck. But a lot of that has to do with the fact that if we get $5, it burns a hole in our pocket, right? That's what my mama used to say about money. You can't hold on to nothing that burns a hole in your pocket. And so Page of Pentacles is coming up, first card in the reading, as the Apprentice, because this is a week where we really got to be studying and learning about ourselves. And we do that by paying attention to the people in our lives who may have reached a milestone or hit a success that we want for ourselves, right? Page of Pentacles is the card of the Apprentice, but it's also someone who's learning by doing around what it means to move responsibly. So this is where a lot of us are this particular week. And the lesson that we are learning is we're learning about the difference between being impulsive and being impassioned, right? There's a huge difference between the two. If you don't already know that, then this message is for you. And the way that being impassioned versus being impulsive shows up for some of us is that we are in a position of having to constantly being the person that is loaning and we are never the lender. Or we are the lender and we need to learn how to say no to people, right? Six of Pentacles, the card of charity. The merchant, the business merchant that is blessed with overflow to give, but has to be very deliberate about what they give to, right? There's also lessons about being the person who has to constantly receive charity, right? Some of us will never get to the place, I don't want to say never, we're having a hard time getting to the place of being the merchant, of being the lender, because of our impulses. We get $5, it makes us feel unsafe. We run out and spend it. Then when, my Auntie Carolyn, I love you. I'm just using her as an example. She never asked me for money. She never did. But for whatever reason, that means I got to talk to her. Her name popped up. But when our aunts or our sisters or whoever call us and they're in need, we don't have it and we feel like shit because we went out and we wasted it on something, right? Some of us who are the lenders end up not being able to give to the people who need it the most because we have the same people coming to us asking. So we got to learn lessons about who we even loan to, right? So powerful lessons about where your money is taking you and where it's putting you in terms of your position as it relates to that Six of Pentacles energy. This is a week where financial discipline is extremely necessary. You are only going to see abundance through discipline. You are only going to see abundance through strategy. I would love to tell y'all that this is the week where y'all just get a call in the middle of the night saying that your best friend from high school won the lottery and wants to give you a quarter of their winnings. That shit's not going to happen, right? The Emperor is coming up because it's only going to be when you get serious about the kind of empire you want to build, the kind of legacy you want for yourself, the kind of experience of your life that you want to have and how you want to be remembered. It's only when you get serious about that that you will really embrace the lessons of the Page of Pentacles that you need to learn. There are some of you who've been saying for the last 3 or 4 years that you want a better living situation and you refuse to save your money so that you can afford that. That is not Emperor energy. That is not an Emperor make, right? There are some of you who've been saying for the last 5 years that you want to have $15,000 in your savings. You could have saved that 4 times over in 5 years. But the lack of discipline is what is leading to problems in your financial life. And with the Page of Pentacles over the Emperor, this is a week where you are not going to be able to escape that. You have to confront the ways in which your lack of discipline are impacting your finances. There's no 2 ways about it, right? Now, why is this coming up now this week? There are a lot of us who are watching this either live or in the replay who have opportunities to hit a milestone, right? With the amount of peer support, with the amount of successes that we've hit, with the amount of people around us who believe in us, we low-key shouldn't even be having the financial problems that we have, right? So the 6 of Wands being a card of influence and that being under the 8 of Wands is asking us, what would it look like when, if we get money and opportunity, instead of wasting that money and opportunity on impulse, what would it look like for us if we poured that money into opportunity to connect with those that we have influence over in community, right? Some of you guys, this is about pouring that money into your business as opposed to pouring it into your pleasure. For some of you guys, this is about going ahead and booking that retreat or booking that confidence so that you can actually be in the room with people that you've connected with but have not seen in a long time, right? But if your money is not bringing you closer to hitting your goals and being able to be in celebration with the people in your community and peer group as a result of those goals, you're doing it wrong this week, right? Some of you guys, this literally, whoever needs to hear this, I don't give a fuck. That conference you're looking at, go ahead and book it, make the deposit, buy the plane ticket, tell yourself you're going. Do it while you have access to the money now. Because if you are not using your money this week to put you closer to this 6 of Wands energy, where you're not only winning, but you're celebrating the wins around people who believed in you, you're doing it wrong. We end with the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is a card of impulse. It's Aries energy. Aries are very impulsive. They're the leaders. They're the initiators. They low-key don't know how to do anything without being impulsive, right? This is why you meet Aries and they either have 10,000 commitments because they've agreed to do every goddamn thing, or they have no commitments at all because they get up and run away from shit once they get bored, right? There's no in between with an Aries, right? Shout out to my baby sister, Sharice. I swear to God, that girl, every time I talk to her, she's on her way to a new job. She's taking on something new. Prototypical Aries, right? You have to choose which side of this Knight of Wands you're going to be. Are you going to be the person that's constantly burning out because you don't have the tenacity to stick with something? Or are you going to be the person who is taking leadership and being the initiator and moving forward with your dreams, right? I feel like the 6 of Wands and this Knight of Wands are speaking directly to each other. The only thing that's keeping some of you from reaching this, hitting your milestones and being appreciated by the people who believe in you and admire you, is your inability to do this, right? Is to move forward and spend your money on the things you know you need to, right? Again, book that conference and book that retreat instead of running out and buying crab legs and, and smoking hookah with people, right? I don't mean to be stereotypical, but y'all know who y'all are, right? If your money is being used to go to gatherings and take a bunch of pictures with people who don't have their life in order in themselves, that's something you need to think about and look at. Why am I not putting my money into conferences, into travel, into things that are going to bring me expansion, as opposed to wasting my money on distraction and pleasure and then wondering why things aren't moving forward with me, right? So that is the money reading for this week. That is the wisdom that we need around our finances. Some of us are going to, here's the other thing with the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is money that comes from charity or an institution. A huge part of the reason why this is coming up is because even if it's not this week, before this month is over, some of you guys are going to be blessed with a windfall. Are you going to use that windfall to pour into your travel and your expansion? Or are you going to use that windfall for escapism and pleasure, only to be frustrated with the fact that you haven't made any progress a month, 2 months, 3 months from now? Those are the things you really got to ask yourself as it comes to your money. The long and the short of it is some of you guys are watching this and you want to believe you don't have enough money. You have more than enough money. You're just doing stupid shit with it. Sorry. I didn't mean to be that blunt, but that's the message. Let's wrap up with love. My GMA in Aries never sits down. Aries don't know how to sit down. And Aries will announce to you that they know they need to rest and then make 3 or 4 more commitments. And Aries will tell you that they're dog tired and if they don't want to talk to nobody, and then walk into the next room and pick up their phone and return 4 text messages with phone calls, right? They really don't know how to sit down. They don't know how to sit down. And then the crazy thing is, and I love Aries women, I do. They're some of my biggest, strongest friends and supporters. Again, shout out to my baby sister, Sharice. But y'all will say y'all are dog tired and then won't leave shit alone. It's the weirdest thing. Not cussing us out with a hair flip. See, I didn't even realize you were an Aries, Lava Lynn. That's why I like you. I get along hard with Aries women. I really, really do. I get along really, really strongly with Aries women. So now I know why I like you. It's literally astrological. Sounds like my Aries hubby. So my part, well, I'm not gonna call him that. My the nigga I'm allowing to keep me busy at the moment. That was a trash way to say that, but I don't know any other way to say it. He's an Aries. And I feel like, and I have 2 younger brothers that are Aries. The difference between Aries men and Aries women is that Aries women will literally exhaust themselves to the point of hitting a wall. But Aries men, it's almost like they can feel that point of exhaustion coming up. And that's when they like, fuck it, I'm just not talking to nobody. They're a little bit more selfish than the women are. And I mean that in a good way, actually. Aries men are actually kind of selfish. So when they start to feel that they're going to hit that wall, that's when they're like, nah, fuck it, I'm just turning my phone off for a couple days. Like, you may not hear from me for a month or 2. My little brother that's an Aries, love him down, love him with all my heart and soul. But there are some times where we go like literally 6 months without even hearing a peep from Jay. And we know he's good. We know he's surviving because we still see him on social media. He'll post pictures of him with his son or whatever. But when he's about to get burnt out, you ain't hearing from me. So there's a difference between how it shows up in my experience with Aries men and Aries women. I don't know if we have gone over this, Kalisa, you knew. So hi, Kalisa. I am a problematic Taurus and I love asshole fire sign men. I really do. I don't know why. Some of my strongest male friends are Sagittarians and Leos, and I have a lot of dating history with Aries. I don't know why. Fire sign men can be assholes, but sometimes that shit is fun. I don't know. I'm not disagreeing with you. You're right. You're absolutely right. But I don't know. I can't. Yeah. I should do better, but I can't do better. I'm going to switch decks for love, actually. Let me switch decks for the love reading. I'm gonna go. I have not used my 90s deck in forever. So let's use the 90s tarot for love. Oh, you're not new? Kalisa, I thought you just joined us in like the last 2 weeks or so. Are you one of those people that have been hiding and not talking that much and you only started talking to me recently? Okay. So you didn't need that whole confession. You already knew. Sagittarian men are hella immature. Brital, you've been my goddaughter for a little while now. Am I the most mature person on the planet? I think sometimes people get wrapped up in like the voice in the presentation, and I do like project in a way that's poised, and I take ownership of that. I recognize that, but there's a child that lives inside of me. I always tell people, like, I know I'm a beautiful woman, but there's a 14-year-old boy that lives in me that's going to make a dick joke before our conversation is over. So I understand, but that's probably why I like them. I like Sagittarian men because they're inherently silly. I like Leo men because they're braggadocious and they don't care. And I feel like their braggadocious energy can be really infectious, right? In a way that I find motivating. And I'm not going to talk about Aries men because I'm a lady. So I'm not going to say what I like about them on camera. We're here for a reading. Let me do this love reading and be back on. Let me focus. Ancestors, angels, and city pastors, spirits to walk with me. My elevated ancestors, what wisdom do we as a collective need about love and romance as we go into the week of June 30th through July 6th? Please give us wisdom and insight into the nature of the lessons, blessings, challenges, and breakthroughs we will experience over the next 7 days. Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environments that will allow us to have the experiences of love and romance that we seek to have. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Ali, yeah, we're having fun. We're having fun. I just don't want to get distracted because then we'll be here all night. We are having fun. And that's how y'all know I like y'all, because I don't talk about relationship at all. I've had friends, like, literally, I've had whole relationships and my family didn't know. So like, the fact that I'm even having this conversation with y'all is a symptom of comfort. That's part of the reason why I even look forward to doing these, is because I like our time together. So okay. It's been so long since I've used this deck. I low-key don't remember a lot of the artwork. Oh, I always forget that Britney Spears is the sun. Okay. I love this. I actually really love this for us. I'm gonna pull a clarifier over one of the cards before I go forward. And I will use quirky to clarify. Five of Pentacles. What do we need to know about Five of Pentacles? See, okay, Labalin, I love you. You said that's my kind of carrying on, no one your personal business. I agree with you 1,000%, like 1,000%. But it also makes people, I've had people ask me if I were asexual before because I don't talk about my relationships. Like, I just don't, I either present really open and carefree or just super, super guarded, right? But I agree. I feel like unless I'm about to marry this nigga, why do y'all need to know about him? And that has been my mentality literally since I was 15 years old and I started dating. I did start dating late. My mother was really strict. But yeah, ever since I started dating to literally now when I'm in my 40s, I'm like, this nigga don't live with me, so why do y'all have to know about him? My relationships are private. And then I think I've had good relationships because of that. Because I no matter how much I encourage people to not do this in my readings and in my sessions, y'all will run and tell y'all whole family and y'all whole friendship circle when somebody do some shit that get on y'all nerves, only to talk bad about them for 2 weeks with that person. And then once y'all reunite or y'all get over or you forgive, you expect your whole community to act like they don't know this person's an asshole. So the way that I circumvent all of that is I cuss my niggas out on my own. I carry whatever's bothering me about the situation. And then I mind my business. And I encourage everybody else to mind their business. Because the only times that I have listened to other people's advice through venting and all this other shit, it's only fucked up my relationships worse. So I have no problem with moving that way. Yeah. I've been there. Well, I am bi. I mostly date men, but I am bisexual. But even with that, people still assume that for whatever reason. But anyway, love. Love reading. This is a really interesting. This summer can be very fruitful for those of us who are those of you who are single, right? Those of us who are non-committed. It can be really, really fruitful. So if you are in a space where you are trying to make something permanent with someone, it can be really fruitful. If you are trying to bring in new attractions, this can be really fruitful. If you are disciplined enough to stand in gratitude, right? And here's the thing, we don't think about gratitude as a discipline issue. It 1000% is. Gratitude is a discipline issue. Whenever we are in ingratitude, it's because we have not had the discipline to look at how sweet and beautiful our life has been to us, and we've lost count of our blessings, right? Very first card in the spread, the Emperor, the card of discipline, the card of war strategy, the card of going after what you want. You have to have the fire, the energy, the tenacity, and the discipline to go after what you want. So if you have an experience of the summer, I know this is a 1 week reading, but the spirits are telling me about the summer for some reason. If you have the ability to be deliberate and be strategic and go after what you want romantically this summer, it'll be a bomb ass summer for you. It really, really will. But we have under it the 9 of Cups in reverse. So the only thing that's potentially going to keep you all from moving in discipline and forward movement, going after what you want in terms of love and romance, is a lack of gratitude. And I was just having this conversation with a client earlier today. It's really easy for us when we are experiencing a breakup, whether it's a friendship breakup, a romantic one, a business partnership falling out. It's really easy to hyperfixate on that person was a shit. How could they do that to me? And be ungrateful for the fact that things fell apart. But if you can exercise gratitude for the person that you were that even got you into that situation and for the good moments of it, and then use the negative as a learning opportunity, that positions you to have a lot of strength as you move forward in dating, right? And that's what a lot of us need to do as we go not only into this week, but into the summer, right? Another thing about the gratitude, though, is not only is it going to help you be motivated about getting what you want, it's going to really embolden your confidence, sun card energy, right? You will move with a lightness and a vitality that is very, very attractive to people. If you can be grateful, people who are grateful are fun to be around, right? People who love their life and who are grateful for what they experience are infectious. They're naturally very attractive, right? So Sun card is coming up to say, yes, work on your gratitude so that you can move forward in discipline, but also work on your gratitude because you catch more flies this way. People are more interested in you. They notice your beauty more naturally when you are moving from this space of gratitude, as opposed to being wrapped up in a 5 of Pentacles energy where all you're thinking about is what you don't have, who didn't do what for you, Be careful of that 5 of Pentacles energy. This is under that Sun card, right? So again, I always point out that Five of Pentacles is a mentality. It starts as a mentality. Can it manifest as deficit in your life? Absolutely. But it starts as a mentality. And this is coming up for two reasons. One is the literal Pentacles definition, which is the physical body. It's hard to be confident when you are not taking care of your physical body. Five of Pentacles, typically when it comes to health, represents like sloth or not moving or just not taking care of your hygiene, right? Which can lead to sickness. So why is this coming up in a love reading? Well, it's going to be really hard to vibrate in your Sun card energy if all you're thinking about is negative shit. And my second point, you are just surrounded by a whole bunch of bitter baddies who hyperfixate on negative shit. So that's another thing. If you are trying to use this summer to attract romance, this next week needs to be the week where you really look at the people you spend the most time around. Okay? Is everybody that you spend time around single and angry? Is everybody that you spend time around single and happy, like they're okay with being single, but they're fine with happening into a relationship? Or is everybody you around in a relationship just for the sake of saying they're in a relationship, but those relationships are toxic as fuck and it makes them show up as bitter? What's going on in the environment of the people you spend the most of your time around? Because if you are finding yourself thinking negatively about love and romance all the time, you really got to think about who are you talking to? Who the fuck are you talking to? Who are you spending time with? Right? Five of Pentacles is really asking us to spend this next week doing that. The clarifiers over it are the Ace of Cups and the Page of Cups. Page of Cups, escapism, right? It's also rose-colored glasses. So there are some of you who don't want to look at and be honest about your physical environment and who you spend the most time with yourself around because you feel like you owe them something. But look, if their energy and their vibe is fucking up your views of love, your passion around love, if it's making it hard for you to see clearly, make some decisions. Ace of Cups. This is coming up over the Five of Pentacles because some of you guys have these deficits mentality around romance because you have not done any heart chakra work in a long time. I feel like I've been talking about the heart chakra all year. And even though I talk about it damn near every reading, there's some of y'all who hear it and y'all like, wow, that's a good message for everybody else. No, baby, you too work on your heart chakra so it doesn't make you move into this next week, going into the rest of the summer with a deficit mentality around love and romance. We end with the Eight of Swords in reverse. Watch your negative thoughts. Watch your negative thoughts. Whatever you fear about love and romance, whatever you hyperfixate on in terms of fear and deficit, yes, that's going to show up in your environment. So if you are one of those people that are still going around talking about there being piss in the dating pool, guess what you're going to find? You're going to find piss in your dating pool. If you're walking around saying that all women are gold diggers, guess what you're going to, encounter? A whole bunch of bitches that only want to go out to dinner with you so that they can eat 50 oysters without paying the bill, right? Be mindful of what you fear and whether or not you are hyperfixating on it, right? Be very, very careful. So the love reading, those of us who are watching either live or in the replay have the potential to make a lot of progress with romance this summer if we can be disciplined. And when I talk about discipline, what I mean is having the discipline to be grateful, right? Having the discipline to exercise gratitude, even in the moments where you don't have all of what you want. What do I always say about Nine of Cups when it's upright? The more gratitude we express, the more our spirits know of what to pour into our cup. Gratitude is a type of prayer in and of itself. If you are not thanking your spirits or you're not thanking yourself for how far you've brought you, then your spirits, your ancestors are not going to know what more to give you. So be grateful, be disciplined about your gratitude. Also be disciplined about how you take care of yourself, right? Are you looking good? Are you speaking positively about you? Are you allowing yourself to be infectious in a way that makes people want to be around you the way that most people want to be around Leos, right? Or are you surrounded by other heartbroken ass people that are only going to feed your heartbreak further? And are you allowing your false sense of loyalty to martyr yourself, Page of Cups, into believing that this is helpful when all it's doing is causing more heart chakra blockages for you? Ace of Cups. If that's you, get your shit together. Use this week to get it together, okay? And that is the love reading for the week. We are now at the end of the general reading, and I'm happy to take a couple of questions from the audience if the audience has any questions they want me to answer for them. While you are typing out your questions, I'm going to give updates about things that I'm working on or offering at the moment. First one, because it starts tomorrow for the rest of the community, but you guys have the code now just because you're tuning in tonight. My 4th of July sale starts tomorrow, but if you're watching today, the code is up and active. So if you want to book a reading with me as you're watching this, feel free to do so. The code is Firework. It is a code that will last until the 5th of this month, I believe. The day after 4th of July, yes. And it will get you 20% off of any purchases over $60 on my website. So if you've known you've wanted to book a reading for a while, if you want to get an ancestral life path reading because you either have never had one or it's been a couple of years since you've gotten one, if you want to book the Golden Shadows reading, if you just want to get a general reading from me, or if you just want to purchase classes, you can use the code Firework to get 20% off of any purchase over $60. Tomorrow is the last day of the course sale. Every June, for the month of June, I do an online course sale, also known as my summer school sale, where all of my classes are discounted heavily. So you can get classes as low as $11.11 from me. The class I taught last week on spiritual psychosis, you can get it for $11.11 until midnight tomorrow night. So if you've been wanting to take classes with me, but you can't attend my live classes, definitely go ahead and take advantage of the online course sale. Rich Spirit, the next round, July 14th through the 17th. That is my honey-based prosperity ritual. If you are watching me and you are complaining about financial deficits and blockages, and you've been watching me for more than 6 months, and you still have not participated in a round of Rich Spirit, ask yourself if you really want that financial breakthrough you say you want. I've seen people manifest money for down payments on a house. I've seen people get major funding, hundreds of thousands of dollars for their businesses. I've seen people manifest pregnancies, right, which is another form of abundance, all kinds of things through Rich Spirit. So if you have blockages and you want to move forward and release those blockages, go ahead and join us for Rich Spirit. The link for the group is below. The intake group is below. Go ahead and consider joining us. It's an investment in your financial stability that I think everybody should make and be open to. Okay? I believe that's everything for now. I'm going to trust that that's everything for now. And I'm going to go ahead and start looking at the questions. Because, again, I have a reading that starts at 8:30. I thought that if I started a half hour earlier tonight doing 7 instead of 7:30, that I would be able to be out of here on time. But it's looking like I might not be. So I'm probably not going to get to everybody today. So if you are somebody who asks questions a lot, and I don't get to you, don't be offended. Respectfully, especially if you don't leave me love offerings. I'm just going to be real. If you come in here every week and get questions answered and you've never left me $1, don't be surprised if I don't see your question. All right. Let's see. So how to go about my housing situation and getting a new house. I got you, Calissa. We'll do Tiffany after Calissa. And then we'll do La Balin, and then we'll do Bratal. And then if I have others after that, then I'll answer them. Ancestors, angels, master spirits. What does Calissa need to know about their housing situation? What will allow them to secure a new home? Is there a blockage in their way? If so, how do they remove it? What is the strategy that they need to enact in this moment? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. So these cards were stuck together, so I'm going to read them together. Your decision for housing needs to be one of alignment, and it needs to also be well researched. You would like for this to be a process that moves very, very fast. And I'm not saying this to say that it's going to take forever, because we do have the Wheel of Fortune showing that the wheel is in your favor. But you have to be disciplined enough to not try to rush this too much. Pray for discernment. If you aren't already praying for new housing, you need to write a prayer and work that prayer very, very deliberately on a time schedule. We have the Hierophant here, right? So let me start with the beginning. Your search for housing needs to be aligned, right? And you need to put a lot of thought into it. The Lover's card is Gemini. So this has to be something that not only works out for you. I don't know if you have children, but I think you really thinking about the best environment for your children, but also tapping into your spirits and letting them guide you through this process is something that you really, really need to do, right? We have the Wheel of Fortune, which was stuck to the Page of Wands in reverse. So the wheel is in your favor. And I think this is taking longer than you wanted it to, because for a while, things were not in your favor, but now they are. So while they are in your favor, again, use strategic prayer, the Hierophant. Use spiritual discipline to really call in what you want. Make sure that you're praying a minimum of twice a day, and that you're doing visualized meditation where you literally see yourself getting the house that you want, right? And if you can put that kind of disciplined spiritual work and energy into this, you will see progress. But you also have to be careful. Page of Wands can allow their impulse, their impassioned energy about grabbing what they want and rooting their desires in reality to make them move too fast and in a way that is haphazard sometimes. So that's the only reason why I'm talking about time. I'm not saying that this is going to take you forever, because I don't feel that way. But that Page of Wands in reverse is warning you about trying to force something or trying to force a timeline, and that can lead to you having further dissatisfaction. So just be really, really, really careful, okay? I liked the 90s deck for what it was, but I feel like I got to go back to Afro anime. That's very much my bag. Let's see. Next was La Balin, I believe. No, it was Tiffany. Why have Anthony been distant with me lately, and should I let our connection go? Okay. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits, walk with me, elevated ancestors. What can you tell us about why Anthony has been distant with Tiffany lately? Is this a sign that she should let the relationship go? If not, why not? And what does she need to know about how he's showing up that will allow her to have peace in this situation? Any words were shared is deeply appreciated. Hi, Lenny, 1129. Thank you for joining. If you have a question that you would like me to answer, go ahead and put it in the comments. I'm going to be taking questions for another 15 minutes. So if I am able to get to it, I will definitely answer it, okay? clarify this Four of Wands. What do we need to know about the Four of Wands? It's clear that he's going through a period of emotional trial and change with the King of Cups and the Death card, but give me a second to look at this Four of Wands. Things are not the most stable with his housing or his living environment. Four of Wands being stable family and foundations. Clarifiers over it are the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Swords. Things are, they're moving faster and they're less stable than he would like them to be. And so rather than taking shit out on you, it's easier for him to be avoidant. Queen of Swords can be really fucked up with their mouth at times, right? And so I think a lot of the instability around him can make him be a little disrespectful, just a little mean with his words, for lack of better words. A lot of this has to do with the fact that he does not feel emotionally stable right now, and he's trying his best to get to that way. A deficit of King of Cups is when they don't feel confident, or when they feel threatened, for lack of better words. They can very much play a lot of emotional games and manipulate, right? Really project and really make other people responsible for their difficult feelings. We have the Death card. So these are not things that he's unaware of and he wants to change it within himself, but realistically it's not going to change within his behavior until he finds solutions to these things that are going through. But he is going through a lot of personal change and transformation right now, just in general, and it's only being exacerbated by some of the frustration he has around his living situation and his foundation right now. Spirit has not given a direct answer about whether or not you should let the connection go. I will say this. This is a lot to manage and to carry. So if you want to take a break from him while he figures it out, I wouldn't blame you. And I don't think it would be harmful. But please know that the stuff he's going through right now, it's not about you. But the unfortunate reality is that because he's not the best at dealing with his feelings, he's going to act like it's about you, or you become an easy site of projection. Let me know if that makes sense, okay? Let's see. What do my ancestors think of the older white male that's been trying to get my attention at the gym? I'm scared. Lord, Lava. Okay, let's see. Let's see what comes up. Ancestors, angels, and master spirits walk with me. And for my ladies who are in my mentorship, if I'm skipping over you, it's not that I don't care. It's that we have consultation. So if I'm not able to get to you because I have such little time, there's an opportunity for you to ask me these questions one-on-one anyway, okay? Sisters, angels, and masters, what should Lava Lynn make of the man who is flirting with her at the gym? This older white gentleman. Is this something that she should be concerned about, or should she explore it further? What does she need to know? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Ancestors, give me clarity. Well, let me switch this deck because this one I need certainty. Ancestors, give me clarity. What do we need to know about Five of Cups? Give us wisdom about Five of Cups, and what does Five of Cups have to do with this man at the gym? Okay. So he is attracted to you, but he's afraid to say anything to you because he fears you're going to be mean to him. He's trying to work up the courage to say something, even if it's as simple. So I'm glad that the cards came out the way that they did because I was nervous. Even if it's as simple as him just acknowledging that he thinks you're beautiful, right? We have the Three of Pentacles. So he feels he doesn't want to be the creeper at the gym because the gym is really important to him in his lifestyle. And he doesn't want to do anything to violate the unspoken like community standards, right? Three of Pentacles are people that you make progress with. They're not chosen family because that's dramatic, but it is that work bestie energy where it's like he values the gym, he values the space of the gym, and he doesn't want to do anything to compromise it. He doesn't want to say anything to you because he doesn't want to make you feel like you need to protect yourself from him, right? Seven of Wands being a card of standing your ground, of protection. He low-key fears if he says something to you, you'll cuss him out. So it's easier for him to just ogle, right? Than it is to like say something to you directly. He's like waiting for you to approach him kind of thing. We have the Five of Cups clarified by the imposter syndrome and the Nine of Swords, which really drives things home. I think he has a thing for younger Black women that are in your age group. And the last time he said something to one of them, it did not go well. And so there's a part of him that thinks about that and is fearful of saying anything to you directly. That's further confirmed by the Eight of Pentacles, which is imposter syndrome. So he doesn't want to come off like a fake or a phony or like something that he's not. And so there's a fear and a hesitancy there. Again, Nine of Swords, fear, nightmares based off of lived experience, right? So he's into you. He likes you. He's noticed you for a minute, but he doesn't want to make you uncomfortable or make you feel like you need to protect yourself from him. Because the last time he tried to say something to a woman of your background and in your age group, it did not go well. And so there's some fear there. So I think that's a huge part of why he's trying to get your attention as opposed to just actually coming up and saying something to you. It's almost like if he can bait you into making the first point of contact, it feels safer for him than if he were to approach you. Let me know if that resonates. I can do two more, and then I gotta go ahead and get out for the night. Okay? Yeah, I got 7 minutes. I can do 2 in 7 minutes. I've been working with Lavrikite lately. I haven't even heard of that. I feel like I had a past life experience. I put it up since then. Was it a past life regression I had? Let's see. Let's see what the spirits have to say. Ancestors, angels, and master spirits to walk with me, nominated ancestors. Did Bertal have a past life experience with Lavrikite? Was the experience she had a past life experience, a past life regression? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. So here's the thing, La Balin, men are way more serious, or not serious, they're way more sensitive than we give them credit for because they don't know how to acknowledge it themselves, right? It just takes a couple of rejections for them to really internalize that, especially if it's them going after a woman that they feel like they shouldn't be going after, right? So it sucks that he had that experience too, but it's more common than you think. When I lived in Santa Barbara, which was the largest manufacturer of whiteness on the planet, I had no idea that white men were trying to hit on me because I didn't grow up in an environment where white men were just fucking hitting on me. And because I was very young and still quite bangy at that age, I handled it like a 25-year-old girl from Oakland that didn't want white niggas stepping to her. And it took me a while to understand, like, yo, this is a lot. Like, you're hurting people's feelings. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it sucks for him, but it's not uncommon. He'll learn to deal with it. He'll live. Yes, you absolutely had a past life regression. You absolutely did. It brought you back to a version of yourself that was very powerful and strong. I would not be surprised if the version of yourself you saw was probably masculine, because the energy of Nine of Pentacles tends to be a masculine energy. But yeah, it brought you back to a version of yourself that may be very, very different than the lived experience you have now. It happened very quickly, and I think that's part of the reason why it was so overwhelming for you. It was something that you yourself was not prepared for at all in any way, but it also is a result of you having such a deep connection with the spirits around you. And low key, this was probably a version of yourself that's been trying to come to the forefront for a while and just didn't really know how to. And so the crystal ended up being a medium or a vessel for that to happen. You said, "Oh Lord, I was a white lady." Okay, so we already know based on your ancestry that you got white in you. You are a survivor of chattel slavery in the U.S. So the likelihood that you have a white lady in you is not, and it would make sense, especially if she was part of your ancestry that was from 200 or 300 years back. She probably was a rich, independently wealthy bitch, right? So I don't, yeah. See, this is why I'm really slow. People have been telling me for a while I need to get Moldavite, and I'm like, no, the fuck I don't. This is why I'm really, really slow to run and grab crystals in particular, because I don't know what's going to happen. And I want to make sure that I'm ready for certain things. So, yeah. But that, girl, that was you. That was the white lady that lives in your bloodline. That's all that was. I'm going to try to do one more. We will wrap up with Sinidra. Anybody that I did not get to, my apologies. Again, my time is limited. I got 3 minutes to get out of here for my next reading. Sinidra wants to know, is there anything in particular that she needs to focus on for the next round of Rich Spirit? Again, if you have not signed up for Rich Spirit, if you are interested in getting rid of your financial blockages, if you are interested in calling in big financial opportunities, go ahead and click that WhatsApp link so you can find out more about the ritual. See, y'all gonna push me to do it, even though I will stop being pussy and I will use Moldavite. But I'm literally low key, no jokes. Bratal and La Balin, y'all better counsel me through this shit. Y'all better counsel me through it. I hear that you got your house using Moldavite, Bratal, but what if that's not what happens to me? What if I end up in jail? What, you know what I mean? Like, what? Y'all gonna have to counsel me through it. Ancestors, angels, master spirits, walk with me. What does Sinidra need to focus on for this next round of Rich Spirit? What is the wisdom that she needs to focus on calling in during this ritual? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Card fell out while I was shuffling. I'm gonna leave it out because I think it's important. Calculated risks. I feel like I said this to you before. Your spirits want you to work on having the confidence to take calculated risks as it relates to your finances. And it makes the card that fell out make a lot of sense. But I'm gonna start with the spread first, the Fool card. There's a journey that you need to go on as it relates to your wealth and abundance, that you low-key been avoiding, because even though you know that your spirits got you and they're not going to let you take too big of a stumble, you're so afraid of stumbling, period, that you're avoiding it. And it's causing you to be in a space of a financial tightrope. You're not moving forward with your finances. You may not necessarily be in deficit, but there is a tightrope where you feel like you're being stretched very thin. And the way that you feel like you can solve this tightrope is another thing of the Two of Pentacles is by bringing on an additional stream of income, even though that's only going to stretch you further beyond your capacity, right? So the Sun card is here saying that, again, baby gets what baby wants. That's my client calling literally right now. I'm going to have to call him back in a minute. Baby gets what baby wants, right? So if you believe that you are capable of getting these things, you will get them, right? So you really got to work on your confidence when it comes to risk taking and going after the things that you want. Card that fell out in the shuffle, 9 of Wands. The reason why you don't take more risks is because you don't believe that you're protected. You don't believe that in taking those risks, you will still be protected. So you got to work on having multiple layers of protection around your finances. You guys have heard me say before that a huge part of what I had to work on with my financial recovery is praying that my spirits will protect me from my own deficits and my own short-sightedness, right? And I think that's something that you need to work on in Rich Spirit. If you know that you struggle with risk taking, pray to your spirits to give you the confidence to take the risks and to make you believe in the protection that's around you enough to take the risks. But that's part of the reason why you're not doing it. It's because there's a lot of fear-based thinking that's making you feel like you're not going to be protected or that you won't recover from taking the risks you need to take. So now you're just in suspension, okay? Love you all. I'm going to call this man back and apologize to him for being late to his reading. I will see y'all Thursday for happy hour. Happy hour will start sometime around between 7 and 8 o'clock on Thursday. So keep your notifications on. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Hit the like button if you sat through this whole reading, was entertained, got answers that you were looking for, okay? That's how you show your appreciation. Yes, I love the love offerings. I deeply appreciate them. They're fucking rare. Some of y'all are greedy. But when I do get love offerings, I appreciate them. But even if you can't leave a financial love offering, there's no reason why you can't share this video. There's no reason why you can't hit the like button. There's no reason why you can't subscribe to this channel. See y'all Thursday. Love y'all. Take care. Do good, be good. And I'll talk to you in a couple days. Bye.